everyone, and welcome back to another coaster review. Today I will be reviewing Superman Ride is Still, located at Six Flags America in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. And of course, I will start off by listing off the stats. So Superman has a total length of 5,350 feet, so that is just over a mile. The height is 197 feet, though it is still classified as a hypercoaster because the drop is actually taller than the height. The drop is 205 feet. The speed is 73 miles per hour and the vertical angle is 68 degrees, so pretty steep. And Superman has a nice long ride with a duration of 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So of course I will be going through the layout and explaining my opinions about each element. So when exiting the station, you will take a small right turn into the lift hill and climb 197 feet. After you climb the lift hill, you will drop 205 feet. And I love the drop in the back seat. When you're sitting in the back row, you really get pulled over the drop. It is one of the most intense drops that I've experienced. And I've ridden other coasters that has really good drops. For example, Sky Rush or El Toro. Superman is up there. However, when sitting in the front, it's not that good. Because in the front, you lean over the drop and then go down. But in the back, you get pulled over. You feel the full drop. After that is a 90-degree right turn, and it's a fun turn. You do really feel the speed though. You're clocking it at 73 miles per hour. After that is the first airtime hill, and this was one of the most underwhelming parts of the ride because this is a massive airtime hill. Like, I was expecting like a lot of floater. It was okay, like you still got floater, but it wasn't to its full potential, if that makes sense. After the airtime hill is the first helix, and this helix is underrated because you do really pull off some good positive G-forces, and I actually started to gray out when it was like really hot and humid outside. That could have something to do with it, but it did really catch me off guard. After that is the infamous straight track, and the straight track, in my opinion, it's weird, but I still like it. Especially when sitting in the front, you really feel the wind in your face and you can feel the speed that you're going. Though I would like to see like a small ejector airtime hill go there or another floater airtime hill, just something. After the straight track, you go into the second airtime hill, and this airtime hill is really good. The contrast in elevation between the straight track and the airtime hill is so drastic that when you're going over it, it feels like ejector at first, but then it turns into floater. And if you're not expecting this airtime hill, it will really surprise you. After you go over the second airtime hill, you go into the second helix. And this helix is meh. It is really underwhelming. It's boring. Especially in the second half, you lose a lot of momentum since you're going up. It's nowhere as good as the first helix. And in this recreation that I have of Superman, I did have to put trims on the bottom of the helix because before, when I didn't, the train was going into the station really fast. So for the sake of the recreation, I did have to put trims. There are no trims on the actual Superman, just to let you know. But yeah, I just feel this helix is boring. However, the finale on this roller coaster makes me forget about the helix because it is that good. Before going into the station, you will hit 3 consecutive airtime hills, and it's all ejector. And when you're sitting in the front, you really feel it. In my opinion, Superman has one of the best finales on any roller coaster because halfway through the ride, I'm just looking forward to going over these hills. It's really fun. So yeah, that is pretty much the layout of Superman Ride is Still. So overall, Superman is a great coaster. I feel as though it's really underrated. However, it did make the Golden Ticket Awards in 2018. I was really happy to see that, considering that Six Flags is my home park. And yes, this coaster does have its flaws. However, I feel as though the positive things really outweigh the negative. Though there is one thing about this roller coaster that I cannot stand, and that is the restraints. The lap bar itself is okay. However, the restraints have these unnecessary shin guards, and they are the most useless thing in the world. And I'm looking at Millennium Force that has almost the same exact trains, and I'm like, Six Flags, why don't you just use T-bars instead? I just feel as though these shin guards are totally useless, and it really does bother me because I'm 6 feet tall, and my legs are on the thicker side, so these things are literally digging into my femur. I have to position myself every time I ride this roller coaster to not get, shin stapled, if that makes sense. But I feel as though Six Flags should really look into replacing those restraints with the T-bars. If they do that, then I will actually increase the score of Superman. And as far as my preferred row, I tend to sit more in the back because the drop is that good in the back seat. However, when sitting in the front, you do receive better airtime. So it depends on what you want. If you want to feel the drop a lot more, then I will sit in the back. But if you really don't care for the drop, you want the whole ride experience, then sit in the front. I'm not saying that the back doesn't give any airtime at all. It still gives really good airtime, but I'm just saying that the front gives better airtime. But I do prefer to sit in the back a lot more. So for Superman's final score, I will be giving it a 95%. This is a really good ride. Like I said, if they could fix those restraints, I will actually increase the score. For me, the restraints is the main reason why I deducted 5 points. As far as the layout issues, like I said, the positive things about the layout totally outweighed the negative things. But yeah, I really do enjoy this ride. I marathon it all the time. And if you ever do make it to Six Flags America, I highly recommend that you try this roller coaster. So that is my review of Superman Ride is Still, located at Six Flags America. Let me know what you all think about this ride, or if you want to ride it in the comment section below. I will be making more reviews in the future, so be sure to subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.